Section 2, Product Decisions. Upon completing this module, you should know some of the issues related to product decisions in an international environment. This is the first of the 4 P's we will examine. Product decisions are made in domestic markets as well as international ones. Depending on the type of market, few to numerous modifications to the product will need to be made in order to compete globally. Thus, there are some differences in international and domestic product decisions. We will examine these differences in the following topics: product positioning issues, economic considerations, product characteristics, product line management, and counterfeit markets. Product positioning refers to the mental image a firm's brand has in the minds of consumers in relation to other brands. For example, Coke traditionally is regarded much higher in the minds of consumers compared to the Kroger store's brand. Also, BMW is considered a premium brand compared to Chevy or Toyota. However, product positioning can also relate to what images the brand evokes in a customer's mind. For example, for some people, Diet Coke conjures the image of weight reduction and flavor inferiority compared to regular Coca-Cola. When Coke entered the Japanese market, it took this image into consideration because Japanese women do not like products labeled as diet, nor is the population considered overweight. Therefore, they introduced Coke Light into Japan instead of Diet Coke. The world's economies span a large range from the poorest countries, such as those in sub-Saharan Africa, to the wealthiest countries, such as the United States and Japan. However, just because a country's economy is smaller and less developed than average should not necessarily exclude it from the global marketplace. Therefore, international marketers should be very knowledgeable about the buying power of a nation's citizens. For example, not much of a market exists for the Sony PlayStation 2 game console in Ghana, since very few people there have the disposable income to afford a television, yet let alone a home gaming system. Yet, there could be a market in Ghana for obsolete or simplified software. Since most computers in Ghana are likely to be cheap, old, and refurbished, they would not have the capability to run new programs on them. Thus, the only alternative is outdated and simplified software. Marketing a drastically simplified version of a product is called backwards innovation. This strategy could be the smartest one until the country's economy can catch up to the economies of the developed world. In many countries around the world, that could be a very long time. These markets could be very lucrative for companies that can buy used products inexpensively, refurbish and repackage them, and sell them in developing and third world markets. Product characteristics include both inherent traits as well as those that the customer perceives. A perceived characteristic could be the image a brand has. For example, Oakley sunglasses have the inherent traits of blocking the sun and fitting most people. However, many people believe they also have the perceived trait of being fashionable and cool. These characteristics and benefits make some products more suited to standardization than others. A hamburger is one example of a product whose traits can be standardized across many markets, but not across some. Most hamburgers sold in the United States are made of beef. However, not all the world eats beef. In fact, Hindus believe that the cow is sacred and therefore will not eat beef. Many Muslims similarly do not eat beef. Therefore, companies such as McDonald's must modify their product in countries dominated by Hindus and Muslims, such as India. In fact, burgers are made of mutton in India. One characteristic of a product that is oftentimes modified is its packaging. The reasons a firm will modify a product's packaging for international markets vary. One motive is to provide the necessary safeguards for materials that are traveling great distances in varying climates. American videotapes sold in Spain must travel overseas, oftentimes in large cargo ships. A lot of bumping and banging can happen during the trip. Also, tapes are sensitive to extreme heat and cold. Thus, the manufacturers must modify their packaging. The government also factors into package modification. Government regulations on packaging usually relate to recycling and the composition of packaging materials. In Germany, for instance, the government charges its citizens for trash pickup based on weight. Therefore, consumers do not buy products with excessive packaging if they can help it. Or a package could require alteration simply to change the language in which it is written. When doing business internationally, companies have the option of offering the entire product line or just a part of it. If the firm believes that the market preferences in the foreign country are closely related to those of the domestic market, can logistically handle the difficulties of managing an entire product line, can overcome government controls, and believes that the entire product line is affordable to its target market segments, then it should definitely consider rolling out the entire product line. However, many firms only offer a few products from their lines, usually those that have the highest sales and profit potential. The tastes and preferences of the foreign market must match the characteristics of the products. For example, large sport utility vehicles are not offered in countries such as Brazil, where drivers prefer small, fuel-efficient, and economical cars. It is estimated that $200 billion worth of sales is lost in the U.S. alone on an annual basis due to counterfeit products and trademark and patent infringement. The software, pharmaceutical, and entertainment industries are the largest targets. To illustrate the problems experienced by the entertainment industry, consider that some movies are available on DVD in China even before they hit the theaters in the United States. To counteract these types of problems, firms can take measures unilaterally to make their products difficult or impossible to copy. For example, software copy inscription. Hope the government passes laws against counterfeiting and can enforce them, negotiate with thieving entities, and act with other companies within the industry. By now, you should be familiar with some of the challenges faced by international marketers in the area of product decisions that domestic marketers do not face.